Hello again, it's the Football League Files on MUTV and a winter warmer for you tonight as the Reds United face Arsenal here at Old Trafford. The Reds' defeat by Liverpool on Boxing Day saw the Merseysiders go 2 points clear at the top ahead of the turn of the year. So United looking to stay in touch with the leaders and keep the Gunners in third place. Jerry Sinstat's your commentator.
Well, defence has been one of United's strengths this season. Their home record, the best in the First Division. And the midfield is very flexible. All four of these men can be expected to turn up in goal-scoring positions, reinforcing what is becoming a very fruitful attacking partnership up front. Lou Macari currently enjoying probably his best season in the 7 years that he's been at Old Trafford. And Joe Jordan also in a purple patch at present, 5 goals in his last 7 games. An interesting new face in the Arsenal defence is John Devine, who's looked very promising in the last 2 months when first Pat Rice and now Sammy Nelson have been injured. In midfield there's a nice balance between the touch player Brady and Rice and the strength of Talbot and Hollins. The two principal strikers, Frank Stapleton and Alan Sunderland, have so far this season matched each other goal for goal. The man in charge today, Derek Richardson from Lincoln, who's been refereeing for more than 25 years, having started in Pakistan when he was in the Air Force. Arsenal attacking the goal to our left. They're in their change strip, light tops and blue shorts. And anxious testing moments, the first 10 minutes or so. Bailey finding Jordan, but Jordan under pressure from Young. McElroy. McElroy trying Rice for pace. Houston with the throw. Houston again. Wondered about the cross. Now may be able to play it. Headed away well by Ricks. Buchan coming with Sunderland and winning, and indeed winning a free kick for a foul. Martin Buchan, the Manchester United skipper. McQueen towards Jordan's head. He jumped a bit soon. Koppel. It's a nasty hanging ball, and Rice turned and plonked it into the crowd. It was the right decision. Pat Jennings just making sure that he's got a clear view, but you can see what a cluster of players there is there. So McElroy to take the corner and swing it in towards Jennings, and McQueen heads in. A lot of accusing faces in the Arsenal defence as they come out in the 8th minute, a goal down. McElroy's corner, watch for McQueen. Jennings doesn't get anywhere near this. Talbot. Brady anxious to take over. Ricks. Devine just inside him. Cut out by McQueen, helped on by Wilkins. Wilkins again, finding Jordan. Devine back. O'Leary. McQueen's header. Nicol. Second attempt. Talbot. Wilkins was being held, but he still got the pass away, and Macari is chasing it. But O'Leary there. And Rice back to Jennings. Stapleton, Sunderland turn that nicely for Ricks. Ricks in here with a real chance, but didn't make anything of it. Ricks, a player of so much skill, but finishing not his strongest point. He had a real chance here after a nice setup. He's here clear, delays the shot, and in fact the ball is slid away, he doesn't get to it at all. Quarter of an hour gone, 1-0 to Manchester United. Well won that by Macari, an attempted pass back. McIlroy there supporting him. And some good bustling here by Wilkins. Bring it back to Houston. Wilkins again. And that's a good cross from Wilkins. Young beat Jordan to it, but it was a good ball from Wilkins. It's interesting to see him playing up there, playing in a nice cross here. Jordan well positioned at the far post, but Young had gone back to match him and concede the corner. Thomas, signal with the right hand, in swinger, and Macari's header just glances off the outside of the post. Rice not pleased, I think probably indicating there that there'd been some kind of nudge off with the back of an elbow. Here is the corner. Little Macari does get up well to those headers, and Jennings wouldn't have got it. Brady. Stapleton had made a run to the left, taking the pass now. Ricks playing the quick one in, and Sunderland over the top. Beautiful build-up, and the final touch was the only poor contribution to a very good move indeed. Ricks played the telling part with the early long ball. Hollins the nod back, and Sunderland here with all the target to aim at, got too much under it. Nicol to Macari. Nicol again. It's put out by Ricks, and United make progress down the line with a series of throws. Macari, clever bit of work. Jordan looking for the header, and it's in! The goal, I think, has been disallowed. Jordan spreads his arms. Good work there by Macari. I think it was Wilkins who got the header in on, or McIlroy who got the header in on the far side. Jordan who applied the finishing touch from an offside position. Wilkins. Koppel. Put out by Devine, who asks for the throw-in, finds the linesman unsympathetic. Nicol. Macari, Koppel, good save, but it was a very good, swift bit of work by Manchester United. Just 3 touches and suddenly Jennings was under pressure. Turned in, on, and then the left foot shot, and it bounced awkwardly for Jennings. Steve Koppel a little bit unlucky. The corner still to come. It's from that side that the first goal came. McQueen now down on the deck, on his knees, looking to the linesman, but getting no flag. Sunderland. Hollins. Rice. Rice is crossed towards Stapleton's head. Buchan there too. Sunderland in, but there was a challenge from McIlroy. Hollins. O'Leary for Arsenal to Brady. Devine. Intercepted by Wilkins to Nicol. Wilkins wanting to take it over again. Quick challenge by Talbot didn't work. And Wilkins finds Nicol, who'd run on well. And there are a lot of men in there again. Thomas can score! Well, he could have scored if the goalkeeper had not been Pat Jennings. He was clear in there, and he hit it hard and true. But Pat Jennings showed why he holds the record number of caps for Northern Ireland. Just watch the agility and the speed of the reflexes here. Suddenly breaks to Thomas, hard, and that right hand goes up. Stapleton turning. Both Buchan and McQueen were challenging him, and Sunderland has got in behind them. It's come right across to Hollins, and 2 attempts by Hollins to play Rice in were frustrated by McElroy. It's a foul by Young on Jordan, and Mr. Richardson has words with Young. Fairly amicable words apparently, but don't think there can be much doubt about their message. Headed on by Jordan, chased by Thomas. Jennings, with a bit of help from Rice, collects the ball. Sunderland. Stapleton, I think, will lose that one. Nicol's throw. By O'Leary, back again by Nicol. Now Brady under this. Jordan, nice little touch for Wilkins, and Wilkins a good early ball, and it's Thomas who benefits. Jennings has come out and got a hand to it, but Jordan will score, and that is 2-0. All made by a beautiful bit of vision by Ray Wilkins. Seen very early. There was the outside of the right foot to a difficult pass in the air. Thomas kept his head well, kept going. By this time Jennings is off his line, coming to meet him, manages to get a hand to Thomas's shot, but Jordan has been running on, hoping for just that kind of consolation. Young had his arms round Jordan then, but referee ruled it as okay, and Macari, a very cheeky effort indeed there, trying to flick it up and over Jennings. Get behind the bar. So we're in injury time in this first half. The ball with McQueen. And there's the half-time whistle, and as they go in, a goal from Gordon McQueen and another from Joe Jordan have put Manchester United in a very strong position. They lead Arsenal by 2-0.
Doesn't matter about the conditions, doesn't matter about the orange ball. United going well, leading at half-time by 2-0. I'm bearing in mind that you're playing on a skating rink. Pretty good entertainment, Mickey.
It was a great game. You know, it wasn't great conditions, of course, and but the way we played that day, that first half for sure, you know, I thought we deserved that 2-0 scoreline. They had some wonderful players on their side, but we performed on that day for sure. You
played at a very high tempo, didn't you, Lou? And my view is that if you're a player, you can just about play on anything, including that surface.
I think that was the strength of the team, Jim. The tempo we played at, fitness levels were superb. with a lot of really fit players. And going in 2-0 up at half-time, there was no way anybody was going to beat us. So we went in that dressing room at half-time believing that, yeah, they might come back and get a goal, but come back and get 2, no, definitely not get 3. And we felt we were going to win the game.
You would know the Arsenal at that time, they pride themselves on their defensive organisation. They'd have been hated to have conceded a goal like this from Gordon McQueen, direct from a corner.
Yeah, not a lot you can do about it when he's 6 foot odd. And
well, they've got a few big guys in there, Willie Young, O'Leary.
Look at Gordon. I mean, he is a little bit bigger than most of them, but a great ball in at that near post, and it's so difficult to get the better of an opponent like Gordon McQueen.
But there are about 8 yellow shirts in there, aren't there?
Without doubt. I mean, defensively they were always strong with the Arsenal. On this occasion, though, poor defending by them. Great ball by Ray Wilkins from the corner, and perfectly headed in by Gordon.
And a few inquests going on in that Gooners defence. It was a poor start for them, and then you were actually quite an important figure in the second goal. And if I'm being very harsh, I never would be to you, Mickey, I might say to you, perhaps you should have scored it yourself.
Yeah, probably could have. And great ball by Ray Wilkins, you know, over the top of the defence, and I just ran on then. And obviously Pat Jennings is a great goalkeeper, but I tried to be a little bit too clever. I tried to dink it past him, but it fell kindly to Joe Jordan, who had an easy tap in. And obviously that was a great second goal for us, and obviously I was involved with it, but I didn't score it.
And Lou, you talked about Ray Wilkins at the start of the show, and this sort of appreciation of a pass, a weight of a pass, that's the sort of thing he did very regularly.
Easy for him, Jim. It was easy. He did it regular at training. The same with the corner kick. You know, he used to take corners, used to practice them at training, aim for the near post where Gordon was, and he was spot on. And it's certainly never easy to do, but on a day like that, those passes and the corner kicks, you know,
it was a good run by me as well. Don't forget the run by me. I made it.
No, I've let you off lightly on that one, but you scampered over the top there quite well. But what I was going to say was Joe Jordan there. Everyone goes simple tapping, but he has bust a gut to get between O'Leary and Willie Young to get there.
He certainly did. Had no confidence in me scoring the goal, did he? But yeah, I mean, it was a great run. You know, energy he had as well, because all strikers do that, don't they? You know, he gambled and he got the reward for it.
What about your partnership up there with Joe Jordan? It was working nicely at that stage, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd only been pushed up there for a couple of games, Jim, because I was in midfield, and I forget who was injured, but I was slung up there with Joe, and I'd played with Joe for Scotland, and I knew what he was all about. And the funny thing about Joe, and Mickey and I have been talking about it, is that superb in the air, but he always wanted the ball at his feet. He would always scream at you, stick it into my feet. Well, I've got to be honest, that wasn't the best of his game, the best part of his game, but he used to keep screaming, give it to my feet. And because I'm friendly nowadays, I've got the courage to say that. I know he won't knock me out.
Well, if we have a look at this one, you actually, didn't take that advice. You knocked one in high. Good bit of trickery from you as well, and it was disallowed, somewhat mysteriously.
Great.
Yeah, I don't think it should have been disallowed, but it was touch and go. Referee and linesman obviously decided that slightly offside.
Come back from an offside position, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. But that was disappointing.
But they were all over the place.
See that, Jim? You could even push the referee or slightly push him if you weren't happy with things.
I don't think he's offside.
The other thing about Joe, you can see why he didn't have the full set of teeth, can't you?
No,
he wasn't afraid to put his head in anywhere, was he?
I mean, he was fearless. You know, in my first 2 games for United, he put both centre forwards on the back, centre halves on the back. You know, he was aggressive, wasn't he, Lou? Yeah. I mean, you know, he was so scared. I played with him. I was even scared playing with him. He was, but, you know, one thing about Joe Jordan was he gave you everything. You know, and, you know, you could rely on him 90 minutes in the game. He put himself about.
We've laughed about ball control and the ball at his feet. When he went to Italy and came back, that was an incredible change. Control was superb. And it just showed you that he went to another country and he learned things. He got better as a player. And it can be done with any player. If you're dedicated enough and you've got a deficiency in your game, I think at the time that was a great example with Joe, going away to Italy with obviously ball control, not the best, let's say, comes back superb.
And in the Arsenal goal, one of the great goalkeepers of that time, Pat Jennings, I think Jerry Sinstad in the commentary says, hands like spades, I think he says, but his reactions, fantastic to this one from you.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great save, you could say. Probably might have hit the back of net, but I'm going to say it before
It's a terrible miss, it's not a great save.
I struck it well, and I thought it was a goal. I just went for power, but somehow he got his hand to it. I would say it was a great save because it was a great goalkeeper.
Lots of good goalkeepers around at the time, though, Jim. Lots of them.
Things going pretty well then. 2-0 to United, steaming on that horrible surface. The second half coming right up.
Joe Jordan kicks off and away we go. The news of Liam Brady, incidentally, is that he's got a bruised calf, but he seems to be okay. News from the other dressing room is that Lou Macari has a sore shin. 54,295 the gate. That's only a handful fewer than were here on the Saturday before Christmas for Nottingham Forest. United always eager, always anxious to get on with it, this familiar hustle-bustle style, never giving their opponents time to settle and get their balance and poise in their own half of the field. And that's a good attempt at the overhead by Jordan, which was not really very far wide at the end of it. Some good improvisation by Manchester United in the penalty areas. Cross played in, and when the ball drops here, it really doesn't look as though there's anything on, but Jordan found something, and he troubled Jennings. Devine. Sunderland, Ricks. And Ricks out to Brady. Brady away from the tackle. Devine. Might fancy a wallop. Oh, it was a good one too. John Devine close to his first goal in the league. Good build-up between Brady and Ricks, and then a good effort from Devine. Thomas with the ball for Manchester United. Wasn't quite hard enough. It isn't easy to move the ball along the ground. But Wilkins now has put Nicol in, and Nicol has won it well from Brady. And turned across and away by Rice after Macari had very nearly set it up for Jordan. United were so fast onto the attack there. Nicol had done very well to win it from Brady, and then Macari gets a toe to this. Jennings is lost, but Rice is covering. Thomas takes the corner. McQueen struggling to find a way through. They figured out the threat there, and I'm sure that there were some angry inquests at half-time as to why he wasn't picked up the very first time he appeared there. They certainly haven't given him any room since. There's a challenge by Willie Young that caught Joe Jordan on the wrist, the forearm, and the free kick given and taken. It's a free kick, in fact, given the other way. Jordan didn't look too pleased about it. Stapleton, Queen with him and winning. Maybe getting overconfident, yes, tried to be too fancy there. Now he's got to stop Brady, and he's conceded the corner. Gordon McQueen has many virtues, but pushing the ball one side of the player and nipping round the other side is perhaps not one of them. Collins' corner swinging in, and Young's header caught by Bailey. Macari, cheeky little bit of juggling with the head, then Jordan bustling through. Thomas, support from Houston, Macari again. Down the line to Jordan. McElroy in the middle, and Coppell and Wilkins. The ball comes over to Thomas. Thomas's turn, McElroy was there, Jordan is there, has made room for a shot now surely, and it's gone over off O'Leary's boot. possibilities there for Manchester United, because there are a lot of people willing to get themselves into position. Jordan made himself the chance, but it was a last second foot by O'Leary that deflected it. Jennings looking for McQueen again. This time he's right deep, but it's a goal kick. A little bit stiff in his run back, may have got a knock on the thigh there as he went down. Brady to Devine. Ricks. Left the ball behind, and McElroy profits. Arsenal throw though. Talbot. Young. Off Buckham's toe. Rice. Held in with the left foot. And Bailey had it taken out of his hands by Nicol. But there was danger there with Stapleton bearing in, and it was probably as well for United to get the ball away quickly. Talbot. It's out for a corner, off Wilkins. Ricks' corner, O'Leary's header, took it wide of Young. Hollins looking to play it back in. Stapleton upended by Thomas. Much doubt about that decision. Certainly he went to play the ball, but he took the ankles as well. Hollins with Arsenal's free kick. It's a nasty one, and Bailey just with a hand. Got down very quickly. The header not all that powerful. Good free kick, and Stapleton rises well, Bailey equal to it. Jordan, Makari, and Thomas has made a break into a good position and played it across, and Jordan has won it back from Devine and is then bowled over from behind, and that is a penalty. An incautious challenge from behind with the ball wide out towards the edge of the area, and just that little nudge in the back of the knees was enough to give Manchester United their chance to go 3-0 in front. Sammy McElroy will take the kick. Pat Jennings, who's saved a few facing him, he's not going to save that one. Perfect penalty. Jennings, no chance whatsoever. 3-0. Worth seeing again. Beautifully placed. This kick by Devine. Nice pass finding Makari. McElroy to Thomas. Thomas, a good cross, and a good save by Jennings that foils Makari. Once again, the class of the Irish goalkeeper. Superb reflexes, 34 years old, but watch how fast he gets down when Makari glances this header. That big left hand like a spade. So it looks like a nice, comfortable end to a very important victory for Manchester United. It keeps them in the hunt, gives them useful margin between them and Arsenal, and And the final whistle goes to signal a 3-0 victory by Manchester United, and a signal that it looks as though the First Division Championship race has turned into a two-horse race. Goals from Jordan, McQueen and McElroy from the penalty spot, making it 3-0 to Manchester United. Gordon, was that an easier game than you expected?
Well, I think we made it easy for ourselves. We get out and we get stuck in right from the off, and we never let skillful players like Brady and Graham Ricks and that settle down. And I mean, if you do let players like that settle down, they can destroy you with their skill. We get right in about them from the off, and I think it was a convincing 3-0 win. And then very early on, you found yourself with more space perhaps than you expected at that corner. Yeah, especially when Arsenal have got a few big lads at the back. Ray hit the in-swinging corner, and I was very surprised when I was able to get my head to it and knock it in. You certainly had a few battles up there, and presumably had a lot to do with putting Pat Jennings off. Yeah, I think it's always very difficult when there's somebody who likes the height of myself standing on the goal line, and if it's an accurate corner kick, there's not a great deal they can do about it, and that was the case today. Well, that was a comfortable lead, and then your goal, Joe, absolutely put you in the driving seat, and a lovely early ball from Ray Wilkins to start it. Yes, the ball went from Ray to Mickey Thomas, who went through, and it was parried by Pat Jennings, and I just had the simple task of following up and putting it in the net. What about the way you're playing overall? A lot of confidence. You look to me a better side than last season, certainly. Well, I think we are. I think our position in the league justifies that. I think that Ray coming, he's given the midfield a better balance. And I think everyone has benefited in the middle of the park from his presence there. Well, despite the influence of Ray Wilkins, United chased Liverpool all the way to the end of the season, but just came up short. But they didn't come up short in that particular one against Arsenal. A bit of payback time, that perhaps, or what happened at Wembley, Lou? Yeah, desperate to win the game, Jim, and, you know, won it quite easily. As I said, when you get in front at Old Trafford back then, we were a difficult team to beat. Not many teams came from behind and beat us, and on this particular game, never really felt that was going to happen. It was unusually comfortable for a game between Manchester United and Arsenal, wasn't it? Well, yeah, I mean, we had some classic encounters against them, Jim, and, you know, this is no exception. I just, the games against Arsenal and me, Liverpool, etc., but Arsenal for me, because they had the meanest defence, they were great games because they didn't give much away. But on this day, they had their work cut out. Mickey, we spoke about Joe Jordan earlier in the Football League files, and it seemed to me he felt a bit of breath on the back of his neck and thought, I'll go down here, I'll get a penalty. Well, yeah, I mean, it looked a bit soft, obviously to me, but Joe was a player who was very honest in my eyes, and I would have said, he's gone away from goal, actually. These days, Lou, it wouldn't be given, would it? It's divine going in the back of him there. Yeah, and, you know, the reaction from the players, I think that's telling, because there's very few complaints to the referee. Joe does go down, he is going away from goal. A lot of referees nowadays probably wouldn't have given it, but, you know, the referee thought penalty kick, and we took advantage of it. Sammy Mack tucked that away very nicely, didn't he? Yeah, great penalty, under no pressure, 2-0 up already. But that game had so many strong challenges on it. It could have been a red card, but today you would have seen a lot more. But great game, Jim. We'll have a look at some of the challenges and talk about the conditions in just a couple of minutes' time. But Lou, you had a really good game. Didn't get on the score sheet here, but you did quite enough good things. I know you're not a great. Games don't stick in your memory too much, but here's graphic reminders of that. You did your bit in the red shirt around Christmas. I'd always prefer to get on the score sheet, though, Jim. Yeah. Corner from Mickey, near post. I like that near post position. I know, but the quality, you know, you got to score from those positions. You had a good game, though, Lou. I mean, cheeky one there, Lou. Well, unfortunately, over the crossbar, Jim. It was meant to get in the back of the net. But Lou, not about your goal scoring ability. Lou had a great ability to head the ball, didn't you? You weren't the biggest, but you were great at heading the ball, weren't you? That was his quality. Well, we've got victim again of this wonderful goalkeeper, Pat Jennings, who pulled off almost as good a save as he made from Mickey in the first half. It's a great ball in, but I have to say, he's got to score for me. No, it's a great save, by the way. Anyone else, that would have been a goal, wouldn't it? Top goalkeeper, Pat Jennings, and especially down low, he was superb. A great ball in from Mickey, and glancing header, and I thought, to be honest, Jim, I thought it was heading for the back of the net. I thought it was going to go right in the other corner, but
Jennings to the rescue.
The way this match was played, great credit to the players, because quite a lot of physical stuff was handed out. There were no complaints, there were no moans, there was nobody looking at the referee. There was nothing like that.
No, I mean, the atmosphere was electric, of course, when Arsenal came to town, but, you know, the challenges were fierce, weren't they, Lou? I mean, it would have been red card today. There would have been about 6 or 7 players left on the pitch. That's how bad the challenges were, weren't they?
And the pace of the game as well, Jim. I mean, a lot's said nowadays about the modern game. I mean, this was non-stop, and the tackles were going in every couple of minutes. Look at this crunching tackle.
Oh, we all sort of wince when we see that one.
But the referee didn't even budge.
Incredible. I mean, very committed, the players as well, weren't they, Lou? I mean, that was a game, that's how it was played all day. It was a great game to be involved in, wasn't it?
You know, those tackles you're seeing there, Jim, Arsenal players, if there was a tackle on them, you know, they wouldn't complain. The same with ourselves. We'd get on with it, wouldn't try to get the opposition into trouble. Things have changed greatly, I've got to say.
Do you think it was the players' approach more than anything else that actually produced a game like that, produced contests like that?
Well, we're normally, that's normal, pitches were like that, weren't they? But obviously with the snow and that made it more difficult. But yeah, you have to give credit to the players as well for, you know, to go on that pitch and perform it. And we never moaned, we just got on. That was a norm, wasn't it, in our day?
Credit to the referees as well. I mean, you hardly seen the ref in this game, because when those incidents took place, you didn't see a referee running 20 yards to sort of grab 2 players. He just gave a free kick and on you went with the game.
And in that Arsenal team was Frank Stapleton, who came here, didn't he, soon after? Or?
Yeah, I mean, Frank was a strong player when he Lou, very physically strong, great goal scorer, great player for Arsenal and a great player for Manchester United. But they had a great side. Brady in that midfield engine room, you know, he's probably one of the best midfield players in the world.
22 players, no foreign players, unless you want to call the Scots and the Welsh.
Yeah.
And that was the case most weeks, Jim. There were, you know, foreign players in this country, well, just didn't really exist.
I think Davy Sexton signed Nikola Jovanovic, didn't he, the first overseas player. Shortly after that, do you remember him?
I do. He was a nice big lad, Nikolai, but for some reason, do you remember, Mickey, at half-time when we used to come in, whoever it was used to, you know, whether it was Dave or Tommy Carden, used to say, Nikolai, why did you do this? Why did you do that? And eventually he used to say, why Nikolai? Why always Nikolai? Why is it always Nikolai? So he probably thought he was being picked on, but he was the only foreign player we had, Jim, and maybe a different style, maybe he was being picked on slightly.
Mm. You know, when you watch a game like that and it all sharpens back up in the memory, are you surprised by anything that you see there, or does it all come to you just at what you expected, what you thought you were going to see?
Well, obviously, you know, going back in time, it's great to watch the videos. No, I was a nervous type of player, as Lou would tell you, but, you know, that was a good period for me. I was enjoying my football. You know, we were close to Liverpool. It was a great time for me because I was more confident, because when I played initially, when I first came, you know, I used to hide from Lou at times, and I was a little bit nervous in that. I was in awe of Lou, because Lou was a big name player, you know, and Joe Jordan, Gordon McQueen. It was a big thing for me, but that's a great period for me.
I am surprised, Jim, when I see these games. I didn't remember them. I can't go back that long and remember exactly what happened and how the players behaved and all the other parts of the game. But the more I see, particularly the refereeing, it's interesting for people to watch this when they haven't seen it before. People who now watch the modern game, have a look at this, have a look at the refereeing in particular, and compare the difference.
That was then, now is now, of course, but they were very, very different games, as we graphically seen today on the Football League files, weren't they?
Without a doubt.
OK, guys, Mickey, Lou, thank you very much indeed. That is it then, the end of another Football League files here on MUTV. We'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.